Hello and welcome to this Red Hat Certified System Administration version 8 program. So we are in the core area of module 11. Here we'll be covering disk management. So this is a very lengthy topic. So please focus this particular area. You will get a lot of questions, especially when you are writing for RHCSA examination. So here initially we will be learning about how to create a simple partition, maybe an EXT4, and then later on we will also see about how to create an XFS partition, and then in this video I will also show you how you can extend the swap partition. Okay, let us go ahead with creating this to the lab program. Okay. So before I start the lab, I just wish to tell you, because since we have launched on our local, virtualized machine environment, so please do change some settings. Like if you go to VM during the power of stays, you can go ahead basically just change the settings and see here you should have minimum one hard disk is available for the operating system to boot. Please add more hard disk. How to add? It's very simple. Add hard disk and say next, and then SCSI or SATA, anything is okay, and say next, and create a new virtual disk and say provide the size and then finish. So here I have already done. Maybe you add a disk of 10 GB, you add a disk of 5 GB, you add a disk of 3-4 additional hard disks, so that it will be easy for us to do our laboratory. Okay, so this is mandate for doing this particular lab. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I will switch over to the console of RHCA, Red Hat Linux. So and then I'll create a simple partition in the first as a first task. Okay. Okay. See, this is my console. So how to know about what hard disks are available once you have successfully configured on your VM? When you say fdisk-l, I mean listing the fixed disk partitions. This is the tool, very important tool. Here you will be notified with all your disk sizes and partitions. You can see here, see, this is basically like you can see partition of SDD, SDC, SDB along with your SDA. This is your root partition. Here we have given all the things. So please ensure that all partitions are available. But you see here, if I understand about fdisk-l in SDA, this is the primary and root partition which we have. This is already used completely. 20 GB has been used here. 1 GB for boot partition and 19 GB for root partition. Okay, so this is how it has been configured. So what we will do, we will use this SDB as well as SDC for our simple partition. For our simple partition, I'll use SDB, and later on, even for swap also I'll be using SDB, and for logical volume management we will use SDC, and for other areas like Stratus file system and those things which we will be using SGD. So please ensure that this is carrying high weightage in your examination. Please focus this, and the questions like creating a simple partition, creating a logical volume, extending a logical volume partition, and also extending the swap partition are almost compulsory in the examination. Please thoroughly practice these areas. These are the primary focus areas. So I will now briefly explain about how you can create a simple partition. So now we have selected SDB as the device to create a partition. Okay, device, that is the hard disk 10 GB. Suppose if I want to create a partition called as 2 GB of EXT4 and 2 GB of XFS. I want to create both. So what is EXT4 and what is XFS? XFS is extended partition, extended file system, which has been latest from Red Hat 7 onwards. Previously there was no XFS, which has more number of features, like it can support more than 33 GB or even 2 TB file systems of a single file, etc. in XFS. But even in if you take up EXT4, the file size cannot be more than 33 GB. So there are some limitations. So keeping in limitations, the enhancements are coming across from time to time. So this XFS is the latest one. I'll be teaching both. I mean EXT4 as well as I will also teach about this XFS simultaneously. So I'm selecting this SDB of 2 GB each in this particular volume. Okay. So now how to basically partition in SDB. fdisk/dev/sdb. So if you select this partition, if you select this disk, I can do a partition. So here when I press M for help, the list of commands will be displayed. But to make it more simple as possible, just say P for print the existing partitions. There are no partitions at all. So now what I'm going to do, I'll press N for new. I can create the first partition is always primary partition. I create this primary. You can have 4 partitions, primary plus extended. So here I'll say 1 partition. The first sector is 2048, that is reserved. What is the size? We have to give plus 2 gigabyte. So I am giving this partition. So it has been created. You can verify by saying P for print. So this 2 GB partition has created already. So suppose if I want to create another partition, I can create N for new. I can say P for primary once again and say partition number 2. See, the geometry of this partition ends. I mean the partition ends at 4194304. So it starts from the next immediate available 352. Okay. So please understand this particular the starting and ending sectors. Again I am giving as plus 2G. So this is of total 10G. So 10 gigabyte of this, 2G I'm giving for this, and for 2 partitions which I am giving. So here now there are 2 partitions named as SDB1 and SDB2/dev. Okay. So if I am okay totally, no need to change the partition type from 83. This will work for both EXT4 as well as for XFS. Okay. So now if I want to make changes permanent, say W, write and quit. Done. The first most important task is done. Now please ensure that not to forget by issuing the command called as part probe. This will tell the kernel that I have made some changes in the particular disk. So if you get such type of error, okay, maybe once again I'll say /sd/dev sdb. Okay, done. So please issue the particular disk so that it reads. Otherwise you will get a read-only file system error SR0. That's okay. That's okay. So now once this is done, I need to format. So now I'm going to use this SDB1 for EXT4 file system. MKFS is the command for formatting EXT4, okay, /dev SDB1. So this is formatted. The second one I'm going to format with mkfs.xfs/dev sdb1 extended file system. Sorry, this is a B2, the second one which I want to do. So already the first one is formatted, so it has thrown an error. Yes, this has been done. Fantastic. So after formatting, I'm going to create a directory called as maybe mount M1 and mkdir M2. So I need to mount, mkdir/M2, no M2, / it is en route. So once these are ready, the volumes, I need to mount /dev sdb1 on M1. Okay, mount /dev sdb2 and M2. Now verify using this disk free command. Okay, disk free, it has shown the status. You can see this B1, this is 2 GB in blocks. Please try to read this one. This is XFS file system. And not last, but you need to write it in an automatic. If you reboot, this M1 and M2 will not appear. So now VI etc FS tab. With this, the changes will be permanent. Means you can after reboot also you get the data back. I mean you can see the partitions mounted. So how to write this one? Please. Okay, /dev sdb1. Okay, M1, what's the type of partition? It is, the EXT4 defaults. Okay, 0 and 0. This 0 and 0 indicates basically, do you want to run FSCK, file system consistency check during startup? Yes or no. Is it a swappable partition? Yes or no. So I don't want to do anything, so I have kept it as 0. So the second one, dev SDB2, I want to mount it on M2 with this is XFS partition defaults 0, 0. So once this is done, you can save this particular one. Let me check by umount unmount /m1. This is a simple verification without making a reboot. So once if it is deboot, so df, you see no partitions. When I say mount -a, it reads the script from etcfs tab and it tries to mount. If there is any error, it will be displayed here. Okay, if it returns with hash prompt, it indicates that there are no errors. Okay, so now if you say df final test, yes, it is done. So even if you reboot, also these partitions exist. This is clear. I hope this is useful of how to create this partition on EXT4 as well as XFS. The procedure is more or less the same. Now, the most important one is how to basically extend a swap partition or maybe create a swap partition if it is not existing. So first of all, let me check swap on -s for status. You can see whether there is a swap partition. Yes, there is a swap partition. You can see that this swap is nothing but a virtual memory. See, system always uses the physical memory. If sometimes if the application needs more amount of memory, it takes from this virtual memory, which is from the hard disk. Sometimes the application demands more than this particular size. So naturally, if I want to create, if I want to extend to 1 more GB to this swap partition, how do I do? So this swap partition, also I mentioned earlier, you can even verify with this stop command also. You can see the swap is of 2 GB total. Physical memory is of 2 GB, total of 4 GB. 2 plus 2 is 4 GB. Okay, total memory is the physical memory plus swap memory. So if I want to enhance my swap partition to 1 more GB, how do I do? So first of all, I need to create a partition. I'll say fdisk -l. I'll choose this SDB. Since I have 10 GB of space, I have used only 4 GB till now. Only 4 GB. You can see here. This is of 10 GB. I have used only 4 GB. I'll create 1 GB and then I'll make use of this as swap. So how to do that? So fdisk/dev SDB. Okay. So P for print. Okay. N for new. So now I can make another primary, or I'll make extended partition now. Under extended, I'll create a logical. You can do it in any way. Okay. 3 first till last. You have to create up to last. And now again, N for new, default is this particular one, the system has given. Now I want +1G. You see the partition table now. See the 4 GB is occupied here, 6 GB has gone for extended, and out of the 6 GB, 1 GB is a logical partition which we are using for swap. Okay. So now identify this partition ID /SDB5. Okay. Now we need to change this partition ID. We need to change this partition ID 1, 2, 3, 4. This partition ID I need to change to swap. Okay. So here you can see the partition ID is T. Which one? The 4. Okay. Default is 5. The SDB5 is 5. So now what is the ID which I need to change? I need to change for, if you say L, it will display all the codes L. Okay. Capital L. Okay. Here in this, choose this particular one as 82. The default one is 83 and choose for swap as 82. Linux supports almost all this type of partitions. So now what I want to choose? I want to choose 82 as hex code. So I will provide 82. Okay, now it has changed type partition. Please ensure to do this particular one, otherwise it won't work. So now once you please verify once again. So this partition of 1 GB which we have created is now 82. So I'm okay, I'm done. I'll say right. I'll say right. Okay. So now since there are some partitions which have been mounted across, so it says that the kernel uses old partition. Let me see part probe /dev hdb. Okay, partitions have been written, but we are unable to inform the kernel of the change because they are in use. As a result, the old partitions will remain in use. We should reboot now before. If it's a blank without any mounts, then it will go ahead automatically. Now, since this is, it's unable to read, what I do, I'll quickly reboot the server and come back. So in order to reboot, I have a command called as reboot. I'll reboot the system so that I will again reconnect to the system. The only way is this. If this volumes are unmounted states, then it can be done automatically from the disk. Reboot. So it's booting. It's coming back again. The system. I should command reboot. Okay, the system has booted. Now I log in back to console. Okay, now if I say fdisk -l, you can see partition B5 is swapped now. But still, if you go and see top or maybe swap on -s, you will see only 2 GB because we need to format this partition with swap. I will show you NKFS. Previously, what we have done is EXT4 RHCSA. Now we'll say swap /dev hdb5. This ID is very important. This is a logical unit number, also called as looms. Okay. Sorry, MK swap dev hdb5 make swap. It is done. Setting is done. Swap is done. Now we have to add this partition to the existing swap. So how do I do that? Swap on -a /dev hdb5. Done. So now you can see, -s. You can run -s to see the status. So you can see now the 2 GB along with 1 GB is also added. You can see even in top the 3 GB is there. I hope it's very clear. Okay. To make the changes permanent, please do not forget this particular one, EXFS tab. We need to do this, otherwise we'll be landing up in troubles. Dev hdb5. Okay, so here this is swap, defaults 0 0. Okay, mount. What I will do, swap off hdb5. If I see swap on -s, only one is there. Mount -a. Okay, it takes a little bit of time. So if you wait for some time, then automatically, see here when I was trying to attempt, you can see this particular one has been mounted automatically top 3 GB now. This is how we extend the swap. So in this module, we have learned about how to create a simple partition using EXT4 as well as XFS, and also we learned about how to create a how to extend a swap partition. So in our next module, we will be learning about logical volume management, which is the most important while using this the partitions. Okay, thank you.